Hi, Dana Dimitri, your makeover mentor with a makeover moment. And today's makeover has nothing to do with physical beauty, nothing to do with your physicality at all. In fact, what I want to talk about today is a spiritual makeover. You know, it's interesting when we look at the bucket list we have for our life, especially as we get older, the things we really would love to do or accomplish before we die. And oftentimes we have a lot of fun things on our list. If you've never made a list physically, chances are somewhere rambling in your brain or your heart are some things you really want to accomplish or do or see before you die. Well, my husband and I just got back from an amazing, wonderful time, just the two of us, in Italy and a couple days in our old home of Lugano, Switzerland, and then off to Munich, Germany for 2 days. And it was one of those trips of a lifetime. We had lived in Europe for a couple years, but we never got to travel all by ourselves. And certainly Italy is a romantic place. So if I were to say, you know, I checked off something on my bucket list, I certainly did. But there's been something rattling around in my mind in terms of a spiritual makeover for a long time. Because at 62, I certainly do have personal things on my bucket list I want to say, do, accomplish before I die. And yet, over and over, I feel like God is saying, Dana, enough with your bucket list. I want you to think about my bucket list. So here's what I want to encourage you to do today. In this very short video, I want you to go through an exercise that I've gone through myself. I want you to write down on a piece of paper all the things you want to do in the next, whether it's the next decade or before you die, whatever the time frame is. And there's no rules to this list, just what's on your heart and mind. And there's nothing wrong with the things on your list. You can prioritize them. You can say, here's my top 3. Just write them down. And then I want you to put a big X through that list and just set it aside. And just say to that list in a prayer to God, not my will, but yours, God. And then open up a blank piece of paper and just say a prayer. God, what is on your bucket list for my life? That's where I'm at today. I'm saying to God, I know you love blessing your children. You wouldn't give us these 5 senses of sight and sound and smell and taste and touch if you didn't want us to experience life to the fullest. You gave them to us to bless us, and before the fall, before sin entered the world, they were purely blessings. Now, sometimes they become curses because we actually idolize so much of what we can experience in life. And again, it's finding that spiritual balance. But go to that blank piece of paper, and while you're in prayer, and I know y'all know, you don't have to have your eyes closed and your head bowed. You can be in prayer with your eyes open and say, God, speak to me. What's on the top 3 things on your list for me to do before I die? And I don't mean it's going to be necessarily some huge thing to accomplish. It might just be somebody He wants you to pray for. In fact, our bucket list might just be for each 24-hour gift God gives us, those little compartments called a day. And say, God, what's on your bucket list for today? Because once today is gone, today is gone. What divine appointments do you have for me today? And then we can ask for the month, the year, the life. Recently, I've been talking a little bit about heaven, and I have challenged you to write a list of all the people you know. Those who you know the Lord and are going to heaven, and those who don't. And I do believe with all my heart, God puts people across our path at this one time in eternity where we are in the same time and place as certain individuals. He crosses our paths oftentimes for a purpose. He has an opportunity for us that we could miss. So it's okay to have your own bucket list. It's okay to have amazing adventures. But don't forget to consult God on His bucket list for your life.